We're now 3 months into 2019, everyone is playing Apex Legends, Fortnite is dying, Fallout 76 is getting better, we're finally starting to get some news on Elder Scrolls Blades, and we've got the Elsewhere expansion for Elder Scrolls Online to look forward to, so it's a good time to be alive. We've even had lots of great new Skyrim mods come out, so let's not waste any more time and have a look at 10 more great mods for Skyrim on PS4. First up at number 10 is Riverside Retreat by First Fusion 182. Riverside Retreat is a nice and simple little player home just outside the entrance to Riverwood. Inside the house is an alchemy table, enchanting table, cooking pot, a lot of chests and storage, and a few mannequins for displaying your armour. It's really nicely laid out and looks just like the homes you'll find inside of Riverwood. The outside area overlooks the river and features a training area with arrow targets and practice dummies, and a smithing area with a forge, smelter, tanning rack, grindstone, and armour workbench. It's a nice player home to start off a new playthrough with, as it has all the features you'll need. Next up we have Draconian Race by Imperial Agent 1992. This mod adds a new type of Argonian race to Skyrim called Draconians, which is essentially a mix of dragon and Argonian. To achieve this, Imperial Agent added a permanent dragon aspect to this race, including the Dragon Aspect helmet, which you won't even get with all 3 words of the shout. The race also has some unique active effects, which are plus 100 armor rating, an ancient dragonborn is summoned if your health falls below 50%, plus 25% fire and frost resistance, the time between shouts is reduced by 20%, power attacks do 25% more damage, you are 70% resistant to disease, and as you are an Argonian, you can also breathe underwater. You can also find a chest full of equipment and a unique spell just north of Riverwood. The new spell tome allows you to conjure a Draconian for 300 seconds to help you in combat. All of this makes for a very powerful and cool looking race. My only issue with it is that you can constantly hear the dragon aspect sound effects, which I think would start to get annoying after a while. Other than that, it's a great mod if you're looking to start a new playthrough with an interesting, new and unique race. The next mod is Skull Village Enhanced by MARVINSIM. So the Dragonborn DLC is easily my favourite storyline in Skyrim, and Freya from the Skull Village is one of my favourite followers. So when I saw this mod I was really looking forward to trying it out, as the Skull Village had a lot of potential and I feel like there should have been more story around it in the DLC. Anyways, this mod overhauls the village, giving it a well deserved upgrade. The changes include totem arches to all paths leading in and out of the village, including at the Hanging Bridge, some more structures to the Great Hall to make it stand out even more, a skull-styled shed to the smithy area, a small custom alchemy station outside the shaman's hut, a small fire pit in the fish hut in the centre of the village where the skulls store most of the fish they have hunted, and some clutter regarding the skull's lifestyle of hunting and gathering. This mod won't be for everyone, but because I think the skull are great and the mod is so well done, I had to include it. Everything added is lore friendly and it looks good, so I see no reason not to download this mod. The next mod is Descendants of House Hlaalu by MACABREFOREVER. This mod adds a small settlement and some new followers. The mod description reads, 4 descendants of the great house Hlaalu have emerged on the edges of Riverwood, intent to honour their ancestors and rebuild the great house. The DWEMER keep their traditions, while ever in memory of the past's atrocities. To regain much of the now defunct requires the type of opportunistic alliance Hlaalu was always stood for, and rumours of the Dragonborn are everywhere amongst the Nords. Great House Hlaalu honours you, Dragonborn, and stands in preparation to help you swath Skyrim in the blood of all those who oppose you. Wow, that's a pretty intense description. The homes look great and are really well made. The followers include 2 female and 2 male DWEMER, who are set to always be a slightly higher level than you and have some special abilities. The followers are also essential and can be married. They all have different combat styles, so you can pick whichever follower best suits your build. They also come fully equipped with their own armour and weapons. Also, the house has safe storage and can be decorated without fear of losing your items, so you can use it as a player home if you wish. I really like this mod and think it's definitely worth a download. Next up is Amazing Race Tweaks Orc by SPOCKRATES. This is another fantastic entry into the Amazing Race Tweaks series of mods. This one is designed to make orcs much more interesting and enjoyable to play as in Skyrim. You get a new power, 6 new abilities, and enhancements to the Berserk Rage power. This mod is very much designed to make orc playthroughs as brutal and as satisfying as possible. There will be no need for messing around with stealth or magic. With all of this strength at your disposal, all you'll need is a decent set of armor and a skull crushing weapon. Let's go through all of the changes. Berserker Rage now lasts twice as long and can be activated every 10 minutes or every 4 in-game hours, that's 6 times per day. Also, whilst the power is active, attacks with axes have a chance to disarm your enemy, attacks with a sword whilst also using a shield are faster, and greatswords also swing faster. Power attacks with warhammers have a chance to knock down or send enemies flying, and you can draw a bow or load a crossbow faster, and each hit successfully staggers your enemy. You also have a new power called Predator's Sense, which allows you to smell all nearby living and undead once every 2 minutes. It's basically the Detect Life spell, however it has half the range and it detects undead except ghosts, because they don't smell, unlike Nords and rotting undead creatures. You also get a bunch of new abilities, which are Orc Blood Boil. Like Nords, orcs have a resistance to cold weather in survival mode, now you also have a 20% resistance to frost. Orc Blood Skill, all combat skills increase 20% faster. It's similar to the Warrior Stone, so you can choose a different Standing Stone blessing and still get the bonus, or keep the Warrior Stone blessing and level combat skills 40% faster. Orc Grim Look, this gives you a perk that greatly increases the chance of intimidating. Now you can successfully choose dialogue options that are more in character with your race, like the response to the guard at the Riften Gate. Orc Kinsman, not only are you allowed through the Orc Stronghold gates, but you can now also enter the longhouses, sleep in the beds, and take items without being asked to leave. Keys to the longhouses are also added to your inventory. Orc Metal Skill, now you can improve Orcish 30% more, Ebony 20% more, and improve other armor and weapons 10% more. Orc Strength, now you have 30 more stamina, so you can do more power attacks. You can also carry 100 more than other races, and worn armor doesn't weigh anything. This basically gives you the same benefits as the Steed Stone, so if you get its blessing too, you can carry 200 more. This is a fun mod that makes orcs a real close quarters combat powerhouse. If you're tired of sneaking around or messing about with spells, and you just want to blow off some steam and cut off some heads, this mod is for you, you psycho. Next up we have Seaside Estate Player Home by VENGEANCEMODS. Seaside Estate is a large player home situated under the Solitude Rock Arch. The house has no lock or purchase cost. The home is also fully nav meshed, giving it full follower compatibility, and in a future update it will also be adoption friendly. The mod author promises that as time passes, this home will receive many patches and new features and content. The home features a nice dock area with a boat, a rooftop with all crafting stations, a very open plan master bedroom with changing day-night cycles and some pretty interesting and unique player chests, a large mannequin room which is not creepy at all, a large weapon rack room, a full-size kitchen and dining room where you can make your sweet rolls, a basement trapdoor located in the stairwell which leads to a full-size perk room in the basement with all standing stones and Daedric shrines. And most importantly, it has a swimming pool with a nice water feature and a second floor bar. It's an extravagant, fancy player home for an upper class citizen of Solitude who wishes to separate oneself from the filthy peasants that live inside the city. The next mod is Hold Capitals, Towns and Villages by LORDCURSE. This mod adds some new towns that you could visit in the Elder Scrolls Arena. The first release adds 4 towns and adds a small village. They are Sungard near Serefi Farm, Granite Hill, which is on the crossroad for Whiterun, Rorikstead and Falkreath. Dunbar Wall, a mountain town near Blackreach Tower. Dunstad Grove, in between Morthal and Solitude on the left along the river. And Pagran Village, an add-on to Mixwater Mill. All of these towns and villages are well designed and well laid out. They all fit in with the area they are situated in and fill out the Skyrim map, making it feel more full. It's definitely worth a download. Next up is Shrines of Auriel, created by the Nexus user DWEMER156 and uploaded to Bethesda.net for PS4 by Stellar Visions. This mod adds several new Snow Elf themed dungeons and exterior locations to Skyrim, as there's not nearly enough of the Snow Elf's presence in Skyrim. It also adds numerous other Snow Elf themed structures scattered throughout Skyrim, so it's up to you to find them all and claim their treasures. I explored Jippendal, a massive ancient Snow Elf ruin in the northern snowy reaches of Skyrim. It was an old abandoned Snow Elf palace, now overrun with spiders, and the final room, which was incredibly impressive, contained a frost giant, which I somehow actually managed to lose because the room was so massive. I also came across a small ruin in the marshlands just outside of Morthal. This is a great mod that adds more content from one of the more interesting races in the Elder Scrolls, and the random ruins scattered around adds even more to the exploration. The next mod, or should I say mods, are Green Whiterun, Brown Whiterun, and White Solitude by Yuki233515. These three mods overhaul the textures of the buildings in Solitude and Whiterun. They also replace dead trees, add some clovers to the ground, and alter the texture of the stone paths. Although I was a little bit confused that Green Whiterun was actually called that, because it actually makes all the buildings blue. However, it still looks absolutely amazing. It completely changes the feel of Whiterun, and the same goes for White Solitude. To be honest, words can't really do these mods justice, so here are some nice shots showing off how amazing these mods are. Last but not least, the final mod is the Marshlands, created by TESFIEND and uploaded to Bethesda.net by Skeletor2017. This mod basically overhauls the swamp area outside of Morthal, overhauling it into a place with deep atmospheric thickets of woodland which you can get lost in. For Harry Potter fans, who apparently, according to a recent comment, I sound like, which I found slightly offensive, just because England is my city doesn't mean I sound like Harry Potter. Anyways, it gives off Forbidden Forest vibes, with lots of big creepy spiders and strange magical looking glowing flora and fauna. This has been achieved mainly by just adding flora, living and dead, and enlarging flora already present in the game to the Hellmarch region outside of Morthal, making this area feel much more closed and claustrophobic compared to the rest of Skyrim. The mod also includes an abandoned village, caves, overgrown ruins, quests, werewolves, and other nasties. Just keep in mind that it's likely not compatible with mods to edit the Hellmarch region or Morthal, and performance on console may be affected if using alongside dense grass mods, lush tree mods, more trees, etc, etc. This is a wonderful mod that I thoroughly enjoyed exploring, and if you like the look of it, you should explore it too. That will take us to the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it or found it helpful in some way. If you did, please leave a like and hit subscribe, and click the notifications bell button next to the subscribe button to be notified every time I upload a new video. If you want to help me make more and better videos, consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll see you in the next video, and remember to subscribe to PewDiePie to do your part in the war against T-Series.